So I've recently had two little mini vacations that I've taken. And let me tell you, vacations are a mixed bag of emotions when you are grieving. On one hand, you have the beautiful location and the beach and the sand or the mountains or whatever it is that you are. And on the other hand, you have a giant undercurrent of sadness.
I'm so happy and so sad, kind of a happy sad.
That is the reality of vacations when you're grieving. So today I'm going to talk all about why vacations are so freaking hard when you're in grief. Stay tuned. Like I said, I recently got back from two different vacations. The first one was to my brother's wedding in the Outer Banks at the beach with both of my sons, Max and Grayson. The other one was a trip I took to New York to do research for the book series that I'm writing. And that one was all about studying history and being a total nerd. Totally different kinds of vacations, but they both had a lot of similarities when it came to my grief. The easiest way I can think of to describe it is like a tango between joy and guilt. There were moments when I was genuinely having a really good time, and then bam, that grief just hits you, or you get triggered with a memory, or you see someone that looks like the person that you lost, and it just takes you under that grief wave. I had a lot of those rogue wave moments on my vacations.
Watch out, big wave coming!
And every time I was in those moments where I really enjoyed myself, I found myself with this feeling of, how could I be happy? How could I be feeling this joy when Libby is not here with me? So first, let's talk about why this is so freaking hard. And it's normal for it to be hard. The first, like I said, is that classic battle between joy and guilt. On one hand, you want to enjoy yourself, but then on the other hand, you feel like if you are enjoying yourself, maybe you're betraying your loved one's memory. It's like trying to enjoy an outdoor party with like a giant rain cloud over your head, and it's not fun. The second thing I mentioned are those memory triggers. I had so many of those when I was on vacation. And it's like new triggers and old triggers and memories. So one of the places that I got in the Outer Banks, I had actually been there with Libby before. So there were the memories that were old memories of things that we did together, or I'd see a place that we went, and that would hit me with the memory of the time we had spent there together. But then there were so many new triggers where I would go into a store and I would see something, and it was kind of like I kept finding myself saying like, oh, Libby would love that. Libby would have loved that. Libby would have loved doing this. So it's those new experiences that she's missing out on that I can't share with her that are so hard. There were a lot of triggers seeing people that reminded me of my daughter. So, for example, the house that was next to us, there was a family that was vacationing there, and they had a few little girls. And I kept seeing them playing in the pool and then on the beach. And there was actually twice actually, where the first time I was by myself and I was just out looking at the water, and the girls ran down on the beach and they were running around and laughing, and I had to leave because it was so hard standing there watching them because they look so much like Libby. And then the other time I was with my son Max on the beach, and we were already there, and then this family came down and plunked down their stuff, and again the girls were running in and out of the ocean and screaming and laughing and playing, and I looked over at my son and I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. And he understood because he was watching them too, and he got it, and he just looked at me and he's like, yep, okay, let's go. We just both understood that it was too hard. And then speaking of my son, the third thing that's so difficult with vacations is the family dynamics. The people who are left over, you always remember that there's someone missing. And I don't think that is any more painfully obvious than when you are on vacation. Every family photo that we took together, every dinner, special dinner that we went out to, or fun activity we did, like we played miniature golf and Libby loved to do that. So those family times, it is so painfully obvious that something is missing when you're on vacation. And it's kind of like, no matter how beautiful the puzzle is, when you get it put together, there's still always that missing piece that's making it incomplete. And then the last one, again, I kind of also alluded to this, but just to expand on it a little bit, vacations, especially for me, man, noticing other families and seeing other families having a good time. I know that I don't know everyone's situation. They could be missing someone in their family too, but you don't know. And then you just see these families together having fun and playing on the beach or doing whatever they're doing. You know, in New York, it was families going through museums together. And it's just jealousy, plain and simple. You look at those families and think, like, my family used to be like that, you know, and we're doing our best. But like I said, it's never really complete in the same way.
It's just not the same.
Okay, so those are the problems, but how do we cope with the problems? I'm going to share with you some things that I did in the hopes that they might help you if you are in a similar experience. So first, and I say this all the time, is embrace the suck. Embrace those emotions and know that they are normal, no matter what you are feeling. If it is the sadness, the jealousy, the overwhelm, the avoidance, whatever it is that you are feeling, just know that it's okay and it's normal, and don't get down on yourself for feeling those feelings. A lot of times we feel like, we want to make this perfect, you know, for our other kids or our partners or whoever it is. We want to make it perfect for them. And then we feel guilty when we start feeling down. Don't. We're human. It's okay. Learning how to navigate this stuff is all just part of the journey. The second suggestion I have is creating new traditions. So it's not going to completely help, but maybe if you go somewhere different that you haven't gone before, where you don't have those past memories to kind of haunt you quite as much. Or if you do go somewhere that you did before, maybe start a new tradition with the people that you love that you can do there without your person. You can take your person with you. I talk about this all the time, but I have Libby memorial stones with Libby's ashes. Libby was with me the entire time during both of those vacations. She was in my pocket when I was at the beach. She was walking with me through all of the museums. So I have her there as like a physical reminder in my pocket. And I squeeze it and hold it and take pictures with it. And it's like she's there. It's my way of honoring her. And some people might think that's really weird, and that's fine. I don't care. It's just my way of acknowledging, like, yeah, you're here with me. My third suggestion is take breaks. Please don't feel like avoiding things or taking a time out is a bad thing to do. If you are feeling overwhelmed, take a step back. Your vacation doesn't have to be constantly go, go, go if it's overwhelming for you. So take those times to pause when you need it. When I was on both of those vacations, there were times where I had to step back and I had to pause. And there were times when I had to cry. I had to go in my room, shut my door, cry and get it out. And you know what? It's surprisingly refreshing to do that rather than letting it build up and just kind of fester inside of you. Sometimes just having a good quick cry can be really, really helpful. You can find a quiet spot just to sit and reflect. You can talk to someone who understands. If you have someone who understands, like I said, my sons, they got it. When they saw me struggling seeing those little girls, they understood and they let me talk about it. And it was refreshing because they were feeling the same way, which, you know, made me feel obviously sad that they have to feel that way as well, but a little bit better to know that they were also sharing in my pain. And my last suggestion seems kind of obvious, and I say it all the time, but be kind to yourself. And I mean this in almost the opposite way of knowing that it's okay to be sad and take breaks, but it is also okay to be kind to yourself about the fact that you might be really enjoying yourself. It is okay when you are on vacation to have those fun moments. I know it, brings up guilt feelings for a lot of people, but what I tried to do when I was on vacation and I was having a really good time, I tried so hard to be present and in that moment and just realize that I was having that moment of joy. And isn't it awesome that I can still feel that way sometimes? You know, having fun with my boys where we are playing miniature golf or we're watching a movie together or, you know, sitting by the pool and we're just laughing. There were times that I would just sit and look at them and be like, this is awesome that I get to sit with these grown ass boys, you know, who are still hanging out with me. And aren't I lucky? Aren't I lucky that I still have that and I still have them? And it's a joy watching them grow up, even though I'm heartbroken that I don't get to experience that with Libby. I am grateful that I still have them and that I can still go on vacation. I'm grateful that I was able to go to the beach when so many families can't afford it. I'm grateful that I got to go to New York and just spend time walking around history museums and forts and learning and doing something that I love to do. So try to be kind and allow yourself that joy when you can find it. Vacations, when you're grieving, can remind us of our loss, but they can also offer some beautiful moments of healing and joy if we allow them to. So go ahead and laugh and cry and make new memories and relive old memories. It's all good. I am pretty sure that our loved ones would want us to have moments of joy on our vacations, even along with getting hit with those damn rogue waves along the way. Have you been on vacation since your loss, or is there anything in particular that helps you or that you struggle with? I would love to continue the conversation down in the comments and hear your experiences and see if you have any advice for the people in our community or any observations. Don't forget, shameless plug, if you are struggling with your grief journey, my book, Grief Sucks, But Your Life Doesn't Have to, is available on Amazon to help you. As always, I am sending you love and hugs, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.